Welcome back, panelists here. Rachael Bade, co-author of Politico Playbook. Jake Sherman, co-founder of Punchbowl News. Former Republican Congressman Carlos Curbelo. And Symone Sanders-Townsend, host of Symone on MSNBC. And, of course, a former chief spokesperson for Vice President Kamala Harris. All right, let me go to the playbookers and the punch bowlers here. Look, is Kevin McCarthy a speaker in name only, or is he a resilient survivor?
I would say the former, at least at this point. I mean, look, he got the gavel, but he very much gave away his own power in the House. And so, I think what we saw on the floor this week, it obviously is just a prelude to the chaos we're going to see. I mean, these conservatives, they were able to win powerful committee assignments. They were able to get what they wanted in terms of rules changes to make sure they could oust him at any moment. So anytime they are unhappy with him, they're gonna, and as we saw just a few minutes ago, James Comer told you, it's a matter of time before the motion to vacate, this move to oust him comes forward. The other thing is, they can stop any legislation they want, and they, because of their position on these,
when you say
the House,
they, Freedom Caucus
I'm sorry,
people?
conservatives,
yeah.
conservatives. Because of their new position on the House Rules Committee, they're going to be able to make Republicans take really difficult votes that the leadership has long protected them from taking, and it's going to be pretty tough for them.
Is this a Don Bacon nightmare?
Yes and no. We were just talking about this.
And for those viewers, Don Bacon, sort of a Biden district in Omaha. He's sort of one of the people I use as an example of,
Yeah, Brian Fitzpatrick, a lot of these, the New York Republicans. Yeah, I mean, listen. I've argued that moderates actually benefit from voting against a lot of these bills, actually, and it serves both sides. Conservatives can vote for, right-wing bills. Moderates can vote against it. Maybe they pass, maybe they don't. But yeah, it's tough. House moderates, Republican moderates, have a lot of sway if they decide to use it. The Rules Committee stuff is difficult, I would say, for Republicans, but moderates there are many more moderates in a 222-seat House. They have a lot more power than people think.
Well, but they have to be willing to pick up
to use it.
The problem in the House Republican Conference, Chuck, has been that there's only been one armed faction for a decade. The moderates, every time they're going to make a move, the leadership says, don't, just we'll handle it. The moderates sit back. They watch the leadership wrestle with this group. The leadership gets weakened. Guess what? You can't do that anymore because now the speaker is weaker than ever before because of all these concessions.
When you ran for re-election, that in some ways the Republicans not protecting a moderate like you from certain votes hurt you?
Well, yes, but at the end of the day, you have to become a protagonist. Yeah. You can't sit back and watch this. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting like you did all week this week, watching an embarrassment and being frustrated. So the moderates have an opportunity this week with this rules package. They can make a statement. They can amend it somehow. They can bring it down. They have to do that. Otherwise, they're going to be sitting in this position of, being in this tyranny of the minority, and they're probably going to lose in 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, look, there are many moderate Republicans out there now who are teasing that they are willing to do just that on this rules package coming. Democrats were never going to vote for the rules package, right? It's not their rules. But the reason we did not see the vote for this rules package, finally, after the long saga, they did not have the votes. They sent a whip statement right after Republicans did saying, folks are going home. We'll see y'all at 5 p.m. on Monday. I think juxtaposing what we saw in the Republican conference with what we saw from Democrats, night and day.
I can't believe I'm going to say this. I think I'm the oldest one of the five of you here. I've seen this movie before, 1994, 2010. How does this movie end any differently other than House Republicans somehow helping Democrats and the president?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of Democrats were very happy this week to sort of see this chaos play out. I mean, Republicans have said that they're going to, when they flip the House, they're going to use their investigative power. They're going to, stand up and counter the Biden administration. The reality is there's going to be so much chaos that the story is going to be about these Republicans and, the infighting here. The big question I have is sort of how long can Kevin McCarthy hold on as Speaker? I think that, I was hearing from a lot of his allies this week that even if he gets the gavel, they are concerned that the motion to vacate will come up so soon. Well, maybe not in the next couple of months, but this year.
Probably this summer with the debt ceiling, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And, this is going to happen again, and we could see another speaker.
Why, Jake, is there so much divorcing from the reality of the midterms? I mean, the irony here is that we don't have, the faction that held McCarthy hostage is the faction that prevented them from getting control of the Senate and more House seats.
Yeah, this is a long been a problem in House Republican circles. They oftentimes take the wrong or no message from political fallout from political elections. Listen, most 90%, or I'm making that number up, but a huge chunk of House Republicans go home to districts in which Donald Trump still retains 95% approval rating, and they live in their own political bubble. And now, I guess, a little bit less because you have Republicans from New York and from kind of the Northeast that have been that are in Biden districts, but they just go home to their own bubble, and the leadership doesn't do anything to talk truth to them, and this has kind of been going on forever.
Well, let's quickly, did we see Trump weakness or Trump strength this week?
I thought we saw a lot of weakness.
Irrelevant.
I mean, right at the end, I guess he helped move 2 or 3 members, which, given the margins, was significant. But the first time Trump spoke out and kind of pushed these members, people ignored him. And some of them vocally said, well, we don't really care. Even Lauren Boebert said it was nice to get a call, but it doesn't matter to me. Trump is no longer in control. I mean, when I was in the House, those first 2 years of the Trump presidency, all of these members would say, wait, hold on. Let's see what the president's going to do. Let's see what the president's going to say. I think that's over.
Kevin McCarthy couldn't even stand up for himself at the end. He gave all the credit to Donald Trump.
And there's a reason for that.
Okay, I'm just like...
Trump, I was told that they know Trump couldn't help them, but they know Trump could pull the rug out from under them.
Right.
Absolutely.
And that's why he was thanking him. Thanks for not walking away, is what.
Continuing to bend the knee, and what has it gotten him?
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.